It's a song.
4 years old.
I love it.
I remember when it came out.
Yeah, isn't that something? $40 million. So we can do better than that.
They don't have an elevator.
We can do better with that with less than 10 million, I guess.
That's for that, you're right. Okay, it is now 7:45, and I'm gonna call the meeting to order and, we'll pledge.
There's a flag.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah.
Let's stand up and, right?
Oh, a flag.
Yeah.
How unique. There it is.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I'd like a motion to adopt the agenda.
Make a motion.
Second, Netta seconds, all in favor?
All right.
All right, it's unanimous. We don't have any of the public want to make a comment? No?
I'll make a comment, but
Okay.
it's a personal comment. I had my first grandchild. My first grandchild was born on Friday.
Mazel.
Very nice. A little girl, and her name is Ainsley Mary.
Very nice.
30 plus hours of labor and then a C-section. So, and I was the coach, so it was very interesting.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Love it for 8 pounds, 12 ounces.
Which one of you doing this?
Wow.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's wonderful. Okay, we don't have any minutes because Diane's computer blew up. So we're going to table them, correct?
Table till next meeting.
Okay.
We'll see. It's in the process.
How did I get to the minutes? Okay. We have public comment, director's report.
Yes.
Some
Okay.
Interesting things there.
Yeah. Continue to share our stats comparisons from last year to this year. Looking at children's alone, you'll see that from last year there was 119 in attendance. This year it's up to 177. So, there is an increase in program attendance, which is great. Also, Year of the Arts continues. We are in our final month. June is drawing. And if you haven't stopped by the lobby to look at our self-portrait mural, I definitely encourage you to do so. Many of the staff members have already done their self-portrait. We've had a few members of the public doing it. There are take and makes up at the circ desk, so if you would like to participate, you can definitely do so and drop it back off at the library and we'll add it to the mural. So that's exciting. We're sad to see it close, but we think it was an excellent experience.
What is that?
Oh, that's Scott sending the closing announcement to the public.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So if you have gotten your materials printer receipt recently, you'll notice that the bottom verbiage at the bottom has changed. There was a lot of discussion amongst the directors through our CLS about clearing up the confusion about why there's a number at the bottom of their, like when they check out material and they get their receipt. A lot of people are like, well, what is that number? Is that how much I owe? So the directors got together to try to come up with a better verbiage that makes sense, basically to show them the cost that they're saving by using their
But
library.
I thought they were doing that for a while
They
though.
were, but the language is so weird. People didn't understand it. They thought like, oh, that's how much I owe, or what is that? So the language was changed to it pays to borrow. You would have paid X amount of dollars to buy these specific items. So it's exciting. It's a simple change, but it's an exciting change.
Yeah.
Also, Diana from Children's has resigned, and we are currently looking for a new children's assistant. Melissa found a few that she is going to call for an interview. We're hoping we can get someone before summer reading and all the craziness starts, hopefully to train them on time. So,
By the way, I had a couple of parents mention the summer reading when we were out at the farmer's market.
great. Yeah.
Was there any feedback as to why she was leaving?
Personal.
Okay.
Personal. It had nothing to do with here. So, but just personal matters. Yeah.
not good that there's personal matters. but good that
Right,
it
of course, that it wasn't,
reflection,
yes,
yes.
yes. Yeah, no, summer reading, registration.
That's true.
Summer reading registration has started, so it's slow going, but it's still early. And I wanted to talk about our petition signatures. As of my report, we have gotten a lot more, so we have 239 signatures. Pat just submitted more. We have to review them to add them to the official count.
I gave you 20.
Right. We still have to review them, so you know,
Okay, and that is,
Circus
did you hand in 20? Yeah.
just
so
now today. Really, you did? You gave me? I didn't. Where did you put it?
Gave it to you when we came in.
Oh, then you didn't give me your sheet because I only have one sheet on my desk.
Then it's hers.
Okay.
It's Netta's,
All
not
right.
mine.
Great.
And I have another sheet with at least another 12.
Okay. Yeah.
But there's one that I have to, they left out their address. I'm gonna see if I can find it myself, otherwise I'll make sure that it's marked so that you can see if you can check it from something.
So the CERC department has been doing a great job double checking the addresses using the parcel search. So I thank them for their efforts making that a little bit of an easier process before we do like our final count. So that's been helpful.
Are you finding a lot that aren't good?
2 or 3 here per sheet. You know, it happens. It's confusing.
Yeah.
You know, the lines are confusing. So it does happen. So we're finding here and there, but you know, some of it also has to do with not writing clearly. You know, so our staff is even looking out for that as well, so that we're prepared to, you know, face the town saying, oh, well, these signatures were not legible, you know, so
Well,
we're being,
signatures aren't lit, but that's why we're having them print their names.
yes, yeah. So we're being hypercritical to make sure that, you know, there's no issues, you know. So yep, I strongly encourage you to get out there and, you know, collect those signatures. We've got till July 5th. July 5th is when I need to submit it to the board so that they can review it the following Monday, review it and then present it to the board that following Monday.
We'll talk about it more later.
Correct. Website redesign's going pretty slowly, but you know, we were looking at color schemes today. It's, you know, we want to get it right. We want to pick colors that we can live with for a while and that are easy on the eyes and that give us a lot of different options to play around with different types of materials. So, you know, we don't want to rush it, but you know, it's definitely, you know, we were looking at them today. It's a little overwhelming. So we're going to ask for additional recommendations from the web designer. We did some staff training on Mango language learning and our new public facing catalog, Aspen. So we're going to be rolling out Aspen, I'd say in the next month or so, which is when a patron uses our computers to look for materials in the catalog. It's going to be more user friendly. It's going to be fresh. It's forgiving in terms of misspelling errors, offer suggestions. It's also going to give us an opportunity to market our material. So if anyone puts in the word movies, our flyer for our movies on the lawn is going to pop up. If anyone puts up anything about health, our walking club flyer will pop up. So it's a lot of additional opportunities for us to get our information out there. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff. And there's going to be some staff opportunity to do like lists and recommendations, a lot of reader advisory flexibility. So super excited about that. You'll also notice that there's a lot of collaboration going on outside of the community with the West Point Academy and Mike Magan's wife, Sherry. We're going to be working on together.
This West Point thing looks very exciting.
It is exciting. I'm really excited about it.
I think this could be a very big deal.
I think so.
It's tremendous.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And hopefully get more people.
Yeah. So also the other collaboration that's continuing, but we finally are able to move forward with this project is the library card sign up throughout the school district. We had our final meeting in May. It's definitely happening. We're definitely moving forward. Everybody is in the process of signing their data privacy agreement and sending it over to the school district. He's going to be drafting a letter to the parents so that we can hit the ground running in September, which is exciting. So
It is.
yeah. Then again, another opportunity to collaborate with the Monroe Woodbury High School humanities classes.
Yeah, that sounded
it was.
interesting.
So I was approached by the librarian at the high school, and
What's her name?
Bryn
Bryn?
Spear. Yeah, she's fairly new. I think she's there like just right before pandemic. So we've worked together a lot with card signups, and she thought of me when the humanities teacher approached her and asked, like, so it's an interesting situation. It's kind of like an honors, I guess, where they have an English class, a humanities class, and then like a special projects class. And it's only 50 students, and it's 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. And they work on different projects, and they do special topics. And this teacher is really interested in doing the value of libraries. And so the high school librarian reached out to me and said, can you think of any ways to collaborate? And I said, absolutely. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have them come to the library and take a tour of the library and stop. We're thinking, Sam and I still have to work at the details, but we're going to do some type of scavenger hunt. And it's going to be while the library is closed. And so they'll be able to go from like department to department to learn about how these departments function, what they do, and just learn about like what a library does. We're also going to work on different projects throughout the year. So it's not just one big project. One project we had talked about was teen-led activities. So something that Sam offers to her volunteers that not that many take advantage of is teen-led activities. So they can, at this point, volunteers can submit a proposal to her and say, hey, I want to lead an activity. She had one team do it where she did a keychain making activity, and she showed people how to make keychains or whatever. And it was just a great opportunity for the volunteer to get some experience and get extra hours for her volunteer service. So we talked about maybe doing that as an activity, as an option for some teens who are interested in that kind of thing. Teaching, educating, learning that the value of coming to a library program, what that entails, preparing it, how you're contributing to lifelong learning in a community. We also talked about bilingual story time. She said she might have a few of her students interested in doing bilingual story time. We also talked about she said to me, which is really interesting, and we're still like fleshing out the ideas of the students don't get a lot of opportunity to talk about like controversial topics or like have like a discourse, right? So like, social justice topics, things that are going on. So we said maybe there might be an opportunity for them to put together resources that on a given topic. And some libraries do these things called kind of like they're like book boxes, book kits on a specific topic, so people can learn about that. And one of the things that these students could be doing is putting these resources together from the library and doing research. She said it's very research based, so they'll be able to do things like that. And then it'll be kind of forward facing to the public, kind of like our discovery boxes, but like on topics of discourse. So obviously it would be approved by the teacher, by the library. It would be a real collaborative event. Nothing is like super set in stone. The only thing that's set in stone right now is the visit in September. So exciting stuff.
I'm just wondering, is there any place in there for a history of libraries? Because
Oh, absolutely.
I'm thinking of the major, like the Bodleian or the Long Room at Trinity College, or so they have some idea over the ages.
Right. Yeah, I think she
and
might
how-
include that.
How this is just a suggestion, I'm just throwing it out there.
Mhm.
Even how much libraries have changed in the last, say, 20, 30 years.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Which is something that they should be aware of.
Right. Right.
For anybody who was traipsing through the card catalog
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
compared to the database.
One of the other things that we had talked working with our senior population and some type of project. We haven't really fleshed out the details yet on that. We had talked about maybe an oral history project, something we don't know, but it's a door to opportunities, which is exciting.
Oh, You could yeah. certainly start with a veteran.
Yeah,
That would be an easy, safe place
for sure.
to
Yeah.
start.
Yeah,
And I'm sure we have many of them. In the
yeah,
library.
absolutely. Yeah.
Are things, maybe this could be worked in with the senior center.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're actually next week. Next week we're starting our collaboration. So Sue and I are going to do a craft with them, a patriotic wreath, And Mike and I are also going to go over for a few hours and do tech help. And we'll sit there and we'll do library card sign up if they don't have library cards. We'll also, share our calendar. Yeah, so we're really excited about that opportunity as well.
I think to Nana's point, there might be synergies also where the teens. could
Oh
be
yeah, yeah.
Programs for the
I think
seniors
so. Yeah, so I think this is the doorway, right? We're opening the doorway.
Teach seniors
Right.
the new vocabulary.
Yeah, it could. There's a lot of. I think there's a lot of opportunity. I know the Girl
That might bring
Scouts
them a
just
lot
did
of
an
joy.
activity with them, so I think Anne Marie is very receptive to collaboration and working with different organizations in the
Yeah.
community. So it's exciting. And then the other last collaboration that I wanted to share was the Girl Scout Gold Award. Nicola had connected me with a Monroe patron, Abby Cirillo, who is looking to work towards her Girl Scout Gold Award, which includes a sustainable project and a lot of volunteer hours to work towards something that's a sustainable thing. So someone had made the suggestion to work with the library. So I met with her, she came, we talked. She wants to do something with regards to Mental Health Awareness Month. And so she has a year. So the first step in this process was to kind of come talk to me, flesh out the details, sort of like get an idea, like if we're willing to collaborate, which I am. And so then she's going to put a proposal together, share it with me. And then if she gets it approved, then we'll kind of flesh out like more logistics. But this is a long-term project. It's a lot of hours. I forget how many she said it is. But so it won't be happening until next May. But
Okay.
I'm excited to work with her. She
Yeah.
seemed really engaged in the library.
Well, it seems like the project you're talking about with having the book things associated with the topic that immediately suggested itself to me for that.
Yeah. So we'll see. We left it pretty loose right now, but as she starts to she needs to kind of formulate, exactly what she wants to commit to and what she wants to do. So we'll see. To be continued.
Yes.
We received, I've emailed you all about this, bullet aid, or we're going to be receiving bullet aid from Senator Skoufis. All of the libraries in his district are going to be receiving that money. So we haven't heard anything else official about that yet. So I'll keep you posted. What the restrictions are with that. Like I said, the rumor is that it's towards children's programming specifically. So we'll have to talk with Melissa and brainstorm some ideas of what that looks like. Yeah. Our ads for the photo news, we did the Book a Librarian ad, which I thought was well placed.
Excuse me just a second. I'm thinking, did we send Sophus a thank you note for that?
We haven't
No.
technically got it.
Yeah, we haven't technically gotten anything yet. I just got an email from RCLS.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah.
I haven't
wait
gotten
till the
anything
cash
from
is
him.
in hand.
Right.
And it may be a function,
Yeah.
it may be an exercise of untying our hands, but as we look at the specifics around the restrictions,
Yeah.
children's programming, we should look at what that is defined as, because
Correct.
salaries for the people running the children's department may qualify
Right.
under the
Right.
programming.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of a way that
Right.
we can reabsorb that money unrestricted for ourselves
Right.
and allow ourselves
Yeah.
flexibility
Yeah.
with it at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
You know.
Yeah. Something to think about. Sure. Ads for the photo news. We had our 2 ads in the Book a Librarian ad, and the
Yeah,
small
I thought
business
that
series.
was just, I texted you,
Yeah,
didn't
you did.
I?
Yeah.
I just thought it was so professional looking, very clean,
Mhm.
very modern looking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Really, really nice.
Yeah. Elizabeth is doing a great job
There were,
managing that
at
with the photo
least-
news.
At least 3 activities from the library for this week.
Yeah.
In the photo news.
It's so interesting. They cherry pick it. Sometimes it's the Florida show. They pick everything from Florida Public Library, but a lot of the times our stuff does get in there. I'd say more than not, our events are getting there. The way Elizabeth does it is she submits all of the events at once, and then because it's weird. It's like a separate site, and then they pull from that site to put what they're going to put in the paper. So it's it's not always a guarantee, and I get it. It's a balance. They have to
Yeah.
balance. It's understandable.
But
So.
kudos bringing those programs up on the Monroe Matters post.
Oh, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Looking for opportunities there, to get it out there. People didn't even know about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but that was a nice post. So if you missed it, someone that posts a lot of Monroe Matters reshared a RCLS post about, you can use your library card at 47 libraries in the RCLS system. And Casey jumped in and shared a little bit.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I posted just, you can also use it for some of the shared resources, the online materials,
right.
and eDrive,
Yeah.
and the online movies. And then Amanda jumped in with, and all of these other resources that we're also doing at the local library. So it was a good tag team.
It was. I think, like I said, she didn't know. She's like, oh, thank you so much for sharing. I didn't know. So, every little bit helps. I look for
Yeah,
those
right.
opportunities. It's my small business month series. It was, I think, successful. They're obviously looking back, there was a lot of things that I could have done differently, but I think it was great. I have a nice core group of people who are engaged and interested in these types of programs from the library. So now I have this database of email addresses and people who are looking for additional programs to support their small businesses. So
Yeah, and then they grow.
exactly. So it's going to be maybe 1 or 2 programs a month, and then kind of just grow it from there and survey and see what's most important to them. So I thought it was a great experience.
Well, it's important to have them on our side
Yeah.
to realize the importance of libraries. So
Absolutely.
you've got 4 or 5.
Yeah.
That's good in a small community like this.
Yeah. We had a nice core group of like 3 or 4 people that came to almost everything and
Yeah.
participated in almost everything, which was nice. And they were like, why are more people here? Where are they? It happens, but they were enthusiastic and excited. So I'm going to keep in touch with them and
We hosted
keep them.
these in the Lakeside shopping
Shops.
center.
Well, I tried to collaborate with them, and it was interesting because one of our patrons who came to almost every business program, after she had come to one of our programs, she went to one of their functions and she said, oh, I was just at the library doing all this business stuff. And they're like, we had no idea. And it's amazing, like what they know and what they don't know, even though the information is shared. Like I reached out to their person.
Who's
I forget the shops at Lake Street.
okay.
Like I reached out to them.
And that's a community that really needs, because
yes.
people think, and I've seen this in other places.
Right.
They open a little place like that.
Right.
People buy a bunch of stuff and they think, okay, I'm going to make a living doing this,
Right.
and they don't.
Yeah.
And they
We
don't
talked-
understand why.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that when we did the small business panel. That was a big topic of discussion about the smaller places in Lake Street. And there's a lot of online businesses in Monroe, that could benefit from that. I reached out to them originally, way back when, to see if they wanted to host a program to, 1, highlight some of the businesses in there, and 2, have a discussion about, because of the fact that there's so many online businesses in Monroe, when did these people at the shops decide to become a brick and mortar? What was their decision? So it was an
Yeah.
opportunity to raise awareness to what they're doing and also support the community who's not quite there yet, but there was no interest. So, and maybe it was interest, but there was no availability. Who knows? But, slowly chip away at it. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And then I guess the last thing I'll share is that some of you who are at the mixer last week, to talk to Mike and Sam, we are working on a Monroe Free Library podcast, which is exciting. It's an opportunity, like I said, for us to provide, resources to the community so they can hear about it. We know a lot of people consume information through podcasts and audio. So I think it's going to be an interesting opportunity for the community to learn about what the library does behind the scenes. And it's going to include, staff interviews, hopefully board interviews. Some of us have already gotten interviewed. So I was already interviewed. Melissa was interviewed. I know they have a whole host of lineups of people who are going to be interviewed.
Terry and Netta and I spoke to them
Right.
about it.
Yes. Yeah. So they're already they're working on their questions to reach out to you guys and schedule all that. So it's an interesting opportunity to reach a different audience and also, dispel some of the things that people think about libraries. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I have a question, just out of
Sure.
ignorance. I don't know anything about creating a podcast.
Mhm.
And how does it get out? You have to sign up, like, be a
So-
member of Spotify? Or
Yeah. So what's
how
going to
does that work?
happen is they'll create an account through Apple or Spotify, and they have to create like their feed basically, and you create an account and you link it to your audio. Like they'll do recording. So what they've been doing is they've been recording on a different software called Audacity. And then they record it, they clean it up, they edit it. They've been doing a really good job learning. They've never done podcasts before, so they're learning how to do this all self-taught kind of stuff. And they'll clean it up. I listened to their first episode, so I'm going to always listen to all the episodes before it gets published and pushed out. And then it gets pushed out. So they'll just hit like a publish button and it'll get pushed out to the public. And then we can share it on our social. We can share it on our website. It could have like a little button right on our homepage, MFL podcast only at the library.
You don't have to have a paid subscription.
No, this is all free.
To get
Yes, this is all free. It's free access, as long as you have the link. You could even listen to it on your iPad or your computer. You don't have to listen to it on your phone. Yeah.
I live with a person who listens to podcasts constantly.
I'd like video.
No, I find them good on drive.
Oh, no, they
Yeah.
That's the video one.
Well, you're
Remind
a
us not to
problem.
go in your field.
Drugs.
We won't take it.
So we're excited. It's gonna launch in the fall. Hopefully that's their target, and they've been working really hard, slowly chipping away at it.
I have a former coworker who has a couple of very successful podcasts. One of them is around music, which is his love. But he does like a Hollywood Squares type thing on music. And I'll be glad to get his. It's an interesting concept to you because he's got the and they're zooming. They don't have to be present.
Yeah.
So it could be kind of a fun sort of thing. And it's not a contest, it's just that he has the blocks.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
reminiscent
Oh,
of
that's
Hollywood
fun.
Square.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Then are you saying like there might be one that would be a children's program, interview with so and so, what we do behind the scenes, that type of thing?
There's so many
but you
opportunities.
behind the scenes, that
Yeah.
could have several members of the staff, or
Oh,
you
yeah.
could have somebody from the public who wants to come in and ask questions.
Oh,
or
yeah.
somebody from the school system who, it's a wide open kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So I'll have
I
to,
think it's exciting you're doing it.
I like, when you go to the wine store, there was like a staff recommendation.
Mhm.
I love that. So
Yeah.
everybody's reading and why they like them.
Yeah. So they'll do that at the end of every episode. They'll do like a quick pick. So and then
Is it gonna be
whoever
like a half an hour?
so we're trying to keep it like really short. Like I'd say like 13 to like 17 minutes. Yeah, so keep it short. Yeah. So that was one of my recommendations as well. So because I had previously done a podcast myself, so I just wanted to make sure that they
and actually, I'll get, because he during COVID, his podcast blew up, and I'm amazed he still has to work because but I'm sure he might be willing to offer helpful information, even though his stuff is based around music and heavy metal. But he also does stuff on comic books and horror movies.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah.
Like it like
I
that.
giggled to myself because when I heard it, I heard you say heavy metal in my head for some reason. So it's like, oh, it's a wide variety. Like, Led Zeppelin, and he also likes, gold, silver, zinc, Canadian.
So I'd like to wrap it up, and then if you have any other questions, I'll answer them. But I wanted to read comments from the public.
Yes.
I am so grateful for Lynn's book recommendations. They are always great reads. I love the idea of a podcast. I think the community will listen and love it. Omari Lynn. Olivia hosts great book discussions. I always enjoy how thoughtful she is when hosting conversations. To avid, and it says who is it? An avid book reader. So that was nice. So all positive staff feedback, which is great. So
Marilyn is our greatest fan.
oh, she's such a great cheerleader for the library.
There was at the farmers market elderly man from my point of view. Now that I'm elderly, and he told me he lives in Middletown, but he comes to our library.
Yeah. Oh, I know who
Because-
you're talking about.
It's like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and he was so enthusiastic, and it was marvelous.
Oh, that's it. He had his own table, right?
Yeah, he had his own table.
Yeah, I saw the
think it was
video.
for veterans.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But
He's
he-
in here a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was telling me.
Yeah.
He comes down from Middletown to come here because he does not enjoy that library. He likes how laid back this library.
Yeah. No, he's really nice. I hear him sometimes talking to the patrons. One time he was talking up the museum passes. He's like, don't pay for that. Your library has museum passes. Come to the reference desk and ask them what they have. So he's very aware of our services, and he's really great. You know, he's not our patron, but he's always welcome.
No, he couldn't sign the petition,
Yeah.
but it is gratifying to hear some of the wonderful comments
Yeah,
when we do this.
Yeah.
that's so true. We
It makes
Got a
the
lot.
standing up and running back and forth worthwhile.
in the hot sun.
Oh,
Not that
right.
we're complaining. And then I spilled the coffee all over my jeans and my.
Oh no.
My
And
vest
my
and-
ankle was swollen. Not that we're complaining.
But I have to give a shout out to the guy who is running it now. His wife,
market?
yeah, his wife has a flower stand there. He came, got a spot for me, helped me. He got the chair
He
and
was very
the
attentive.
table out of the trunk for me. Then when I spilled my coffee, he went and got me the coffee. He
That's nice.
refilled it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was so
That was
nice,
very,
and there
very
was
nice
another
man.
fellow there that was equally as nice.
Mm.
So, but
Would you consider getting a pop-up tent so you're not sitting in the sun?
You know, we
We
really
have
have
to-
to.
A cheap one?
We
you know,
have
No, we
one.
have to pursue the people. They're not coming to us.
Right. You have
Yeah.
to walk.
Okay,
Right.
and it's okay. I got a mile and a half in on my my husband
Right.
couldn't say I sat around. I mean, it's great, but and I should have brought my hat, but we have to
You
go
have to
after
go.
them.
yeah, as I say, you have to accost people.
Yeah,
You really do.
But we do in the future, if you did want to have a tent, we do have a pop-up tent that we could use.
I
We have
can-
it in the,
If you sit
Closet.
there, you're not gonna get it.
I went over to the MS wall because there were a lot of people there, and I announced this. I'm going to take my professionally trained voice over there and see if there are any Monroe residents. Unfortunately, there weren't, but I exercised my professionally
And how,
trained, very loud
at
voice.
the actual farmer's market, I heard it wasn't very populated.
No, we did not do as well as we thought we would.
But I think the whole farmer's market was poorly attended, right?
It's,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it doesn't do as, it doesn't get promoted, it doesn't
they're
do as-
trying, I know. No, they have their own social media page now. They're trying to post videos. I've seen them. I've seen a lot more
They tried
traction.
to bring in like music this year.
Yeah,
right?
I
Yeah.
think they're trying.
Well,
That would
was-
help. I know the one we go to in Florida always has a band there.
I've actually been looking at the music quite.
Well,
They've had some pretty awful musicians there in previous years.
In the farmer's market?
Yeah, they had a guy playing the piano. I'm very critical. Okay, I'm very critical when it comes to that. And when they finally had some music, this was all recorded music, and they finally had something I like. I said, gee, I like that song. I wish it wasn't so loud. So I'm sorry, I'm hypercritical when it comes to music.
all right. Back to the whatever it is at hand now.
Anything else? Any questions?
No, we'll go into this whole thing with
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
signatures later on. Casey, you're up.
All right, finance report. The finances were finances. Did anybody?
Cut it out.
Did everyone have a chance to read the reports that Amanda sent out? Terrific. Mary was wonderful and sent me all of the support for the warrants this month. Nothing of note. Everything matched up. Good to go. So, any questions about anything?
As I was looking at it, and of course, the first thing I saw was all the red.
Yes.
But I studied it and I figured it out, so that's not a problem. But I was thinking it would have helped me anyway to have a sort of a short, brief summary narrative,
Like an executive summary?
a narrative of the reports.
Sure, I can certainly work with
I like
Missy.
Just a really
Put that
short,
together.
you know,
Yeah,
explanatory.
Yeah, that would be
Right.
nice.
The
Okay.
non-numbers people,
Hmm,
Yeah.
sure, absolutely.
That's
words,
me.
words as opposed to numbers.
right.
Yeah.
The one thing that we have to follow up on, and it's just a quick email, is we had noticed that now that we moved the key bank money into the CDs, we're getting maintenance fees. And at the last meeting, you weren't here yet.
Yep.
So we had talked about reaching out to you to get some type of letter to get the key bank to get that money out. So we have to do that because
We're
we're
getting maintenance fees from Key Bank.
yes, because
Okay.
our balances are too low for those types of accounts.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
With that said, we also have to sign up for Prudential Online to avoid,
we are already on Prudential Online. That was an annual fee you saw.
no, there's a paperless.
Yeah, we are already.
Okay, we're already
paperless.
doing it.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure that we were there.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
okay. All right, yeah, no, we can certainly follow up
Okay.
with Key Bank.
Great.
And we can certainly put together a narrative going forward.
Thank
For the most
Yeah.
part, just as a point of education, just to orient everyone, and going forward, I'll put this in a narrative. If you look at the year-to-date against budget on the net worth report, it will show kind of a percentage number at the end.
Mhm.
If you think about how far we are into the year versus what that percentage number is, that's kind of the guidepost of, are we where we think we should be?
Right.
So where you see us exceeding a number, it usually comes down to one of two things. Either we're spending more than we anticipated, which I think that might have been with one of the line items for like programming or for the arts. I think on that line.
Here
we
we
were-
are.
Yeah, I think here
Yeah.
at the arts, we were just slightly above.
Well, because we're coming to the end.
Right.
June is the last month.
Right, exactly. So we're just like a little bit above what that spending was. The other thing that'll drive that up is timing.
Mm.
So sometimes with the RCLS fees and things like that, or insurance fees,
They lump them together.
exactly, or we pay them now, but we're gonna pay that for the next 6 months, and we're not gonna pay anything else for, X amount of
Well,
time.
that's probably where the narrative will.
Sure.
Mm, yeah.
Absolutely, happy to help generate that going
Yeah,
forward.
that's a good idea,
Yeah.
Terry, because I glaze over.
Are you talking about the cash budget, not net worth?
It might be
Yes,
the cash
cash
budget report,
budget.
I apologize.
Yeah, that's the one with the percentages.
These nonprofit terminologies, I spend too much of my time in corporate world. So yes, the cash budget report.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Other than that, nothing else to report from Treasury.
Do you need to make a motion to pass?
Oh, yes, I make a motion to accept the financials as presented.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor? All right, it's unanimous. We had the discussion ahead of time, so. Okay, we are down to standing committees, and Diane, you're up as
Okay, so, except report as presented, right?
As presented.
Okay, we had one person who completed his application and has visited us previously. We've all met Steve,
yeah, we,
David Joy. But we thought he was gonna come tonight, so should we put forward a motion to nominate him and
I'm comfortable with nominating him, even though
even
he's
though
not
it's not
here.
here?
Yeah,
oh
absolutely.
yeah, Netta, you had,
It's just because of all, well, I would like to ask how he feels about what services the library, specifically, what services the library does and doesn't provide, and how he feels if we start encountering parent complaints about books. Well, I would just counter by saying, I don't think any one of us have to answer specific questions about hypothetical,
yeah.
Oh, I know, but the world has changed.
Well, I think that.
And
what-
otherwise, I don't have any reservations. It's just that I never thought that I would encounter somebody from the town standing and saying to me, I don't think the library should have anything but books in it.
Well, the other thing
Maybe
is
I'm
that,
overreacting.
We've had the opposite. We've had someone from the town stand here and say, I don't think the library should have any books in it. and that there's only internet.
Yes, that, yes.
Exactly.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Come sit up here. How did the program go?
Oh, it was good. It was her end of the year Girl Scout thing. So in West Haversham, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's all.
Sorry.
Now, we have to remember we're on tape too.
I'm willing, you know, if everyone else feels that I'm overreacting.
But I don't think it's a bad idea to have like a formal process in place for vetting people who like for, you know, like have a process in place that maybe extends what we have. But it has to be a formal process.
Yeah.
It can't be that we decide to like interview in a specific way one candidate and then not do that again. It has to be like from this point on, we put it in the bylaws as part of the application
Yeah.
process. They come to a thing and we have, you know.
Isn't that in there already in the bylaw?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think so.
You
And
know, there is a
I
process, but it's just, it's
I
not
had some
spelled out
kind of a formal
specifically, but
interview
yeah,
with
it could be fleshed out.
before I came on.
I don't
It was on
remember.
Zoom, right? It was on Zoom.
Was it?
Well, we were all
I will
Zooming
say
then.
I also did meet with him and had a lengthy conversation with him as well, and I don't have any reservations.
Yeah.
I don't. I know his daughter. They're avid library users. His daughter comes to programs. He's definitely a library supporter.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
totally my,
I get it.
Almost
I'm
right,
willing to
yeah.
concede that I may be overreacting.
Right.
Just
Well,
but
Right.
it may be something like, you know, like we're comfortable having, because of current process, we're following the current process, we're comfortable having this person join us, great. But that for the future, maybe we look at our process for onboarding or bringing on
The questionnaire or
candidates.
something.
Well, just like we
And-
did with the
Yeah.
application.
Exactly.
The operating committee should address that. for
what was that,
policies.
Terry?
The operating committee maybe should address that for policies for the
Yeah.
library.
I think what Annetta is concerned about, and it's something all libraries are concerned about, is the book banning.
Okay,
But-
I didn't wanna say, yes, that's
Yeah,
exactly
definitely.
what I don't think we're gonna completely escape this totally.
Well,
Unless people are just so oblivious.
here's the thing. Every library has a material selection policy. And if anyone challenges a book, they have to fill out a form. They have to explain what they object to. And then it would go before the Board of Trustees. And we would look at it. And we would decide whether there was an issue with it or not. So I think that we're in pretty good shape. And New York State is not a state that is allowing these types of things to happen, but there is a process in place in every library, or should be.
Yeah, it's happening in Orange County. This was a conversation that we had at an Orange County director meeting. I know Florida Public Library was recently affected. Warwick was recently affected. So it's definitely happening.
It's a creeping.
But I
thing.
think
We have
I
the
think,
added protection of we're an association
Right.
library, we're not a public library.
right, and
We
I
make our own rules. for
agreed.
libraries.
I
That's a
do
good
think
point.
we're in a better place than some of these other libraries that have shared their stories with their
I
challenges.
noticed you did have a pride show.
We do.
Nobody has objected.
No complaints. We haven't received any complaints. We have 3 displays. We have it in the children's area, in the teens area, and the adults.
We had a banned books display
We had a
too.
banned books display, absolutely, yep. Yeah, so we haven't received any pushback with regards to that. We spoke at a managers meeting today about it. I asked Melissa, did you get any comments? She said no, not as of today.
Luckily, we
So-
don't have a lot of readers. Just joking.
I mean, I do have some recommendations for revisions for the process. So it's just an additional layer of protection, something that Warwick went through. They learned a lot, and there's a training for directors that's happening in next month. So I'll come back to the board with some of those recommendations.
That would be terrific.
Yeah, but I think we're in a good place right now, honestly. We do have a process. Unfortunately, some of these libraries don't have a process, and they're trying to catch up.
Yeah, you have to have it.
So
You know.
then I would, You guys, you told me about the customer that made a comment about one of the books. And when I was checking it out I read the book. And neither one of us could figure out what the basis of the comment was. I don't remember what the book was. But it was like, what was the problem? So this thing of having to fill out a form, and actually we might, if it's not already in the form, amend the form to reference specific page numbers.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you have to, one of the big things is you have to actually read the book and cover
Yeah.
specifics.
Otherwise you'd
But
be
some
judging
people
by its
don't.
cover.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
They don't. They have a list. Well, there are groups out there that are, here's your
It's
charge,
literally
go to your
judging by
library
its cover,
and
Yeah.
dispute this. A lot of them don't read the book.
That was the case of the poem.
Yeah.
She said the author was a woman for me.
What was it?
It was the poem that young girl read.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's
Yes, yeah.
Right. And anyway, the complaint form had the wrong author. And for, when they asked for concrete, things that you objected to, it was just like, it's divisive. That was it.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
Well,
And
that's
then the department
divisive.
turned around
And
and
then
bought a whole bunch of books and gave them to libraries.
Yeah.
So it's just,
It's absolutely ridiculous.
just.
So,
So anyway, I was gonna put the nomination, a motion to accept David Joy, as a member of the Monroe Free Library.
I'll second.
Do I have to say for the term? Or the trustees?
I think it's a 3-year term. Well, I
Okay,
don't
it's in
know.
the
It
bylaws.
depends. But we haven't had anybody in the position, so it's gotta be a 3-year term.
Okay.
This is that like completely open.
Yes,
Yes.
he's
Okay.
not filling a position.
All right,
Yeah.
so then the motion would be to accept David Joy as a member of the Monroe Free Library Board of Trustees
Right,
for
yes.
3-year term.
I'll second.
All right. I think we've already had discussion, so we can go ahead and have a vote. All those in favor? Unanimous. Which is wonderful. It'll be so good to have another board member.
And this will be,
Hopefully we'll go out and get names on petitions.
so this will make us 10.
10, and we need 11.
We do, so we have 2 more potentials in the
Yes.
hopper that have to, between now and next month.
You can go up to 25, but they're not voting. They're not all voting.
Right.
Well, we could go up that high, but then we'd have to change the bylaws.
It's in your charter up to 25.
Right. Yeah, but
In the charter, we have the ability to go to 25.
yeah,
It would just be a bylaw change.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
good with 11.
Me too.
Then you can actually
Yeah.
discuss things.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you have a lot of public interest, you never know. You don't want to stop at 11.
Well, I
have a
think
waiting list.
It took us like 6 months to fill this spot. Let's hold
Yeah,
that
I
one.
I think it's.
Count on blessings.
That's true.
Absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
all right,
true.
group, let's
Optimistic.
regroup. Group,
On to buildings and grounds.
yes.
Personally, I have nothing, but I have a question for Amanda. So, last time I know we had the leak, and Tony hadn't called us back.
Still haven't heard from him. I think we might have to move on and reach out to
Yeah.
somebody else. I think it's just time.
I think Tony, was having some health issues
Oh, okay.
because we talked to him the other day.
All right, so maybe you could share that list again with me, Susan?
Yeah,
of-
I saw that.
Oh, okay, great. And then I'll reach out and follow up with them.
Okay, bylaws,
Nothing.
Bylaws have been updated on the website.
okay, that's good. Finance,
Nothing finance related. Obviously, we'll follow up on that key bank topic. I don't think it needs to be brought up in session, but I'll just ask the question here from the union negotiation standpoint. Did Rob ever drop off that letter for
Yes,
you too?
I
yeah, Pat
signed
just signed it tonight. I signed it already, so
Perfect.
we'll just make copies and then give it back to Sam.
beautiful. Fundraising,
I sent you an email with an idea. I don't know if it's been done before.
Is it bags? Because we did bags.
what was it? When
It
did
was
you
about the
send
it was a
Netta?
calendar. She sent it yesterday.
Oh, I didn't see
I
it.
saw it. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. We'll see. Netta had the idea of a library calendar with staff.
Well, not with staff but with also.
Getting in a bathing suit.
I actually suggested costumes.
Oh God.
Okay, I suggested
Oh
staff
God.
wear costumes,
Yeah.
but teaching staff
Library
and
defense.
Yeah.
aspects, different aspects
Yeah.
of the library.
Right. I mean, it could be interesting. I'm not opposed to it. I think we'd have to flesh out the idea a little more or price it out. But it's an idea. Absolutely, all ideas are
Don't
welcome.
grind your teeth.
Not grind. I'm a teeth grinder. Sorry.
Joanne's never gonna talk
I
to me
think
again.
we discussed one previous, not knocking it whatsoever. I think we talked about it previously, and I think part of the discussion was about the town puts together a calendar as a fundraiser, and then so it was the idea that we do a competing calendar against that.
Yeah. No, we don't want to do that.
We had
So-
talked about some
Not
merchandise.
trying to knock, I
right?
was just trying to.
At the
figure
last
it out.
board meeting, we talked about merchandise. Yeah.
And personalizing
Like
it.
wear
Like
a hoodie.
hats
I'd wear
or
an MFL
shirts.
hoodie.
Did
Collateral.
you were
I wear a
checking- you were
hat.
checking with somebody,
Yeah,
right?
I'd get a hoodie.
Yeah, not that I'm hungry.
Okay.
Right, and I talked with somebody and they're kind of like, not really sure where to start pricing, so
Yeah.
but could do whatever.
Right. RCLS did some imprinting for the road trip, so maybe I can reach out to Jen Park to see who she worked with. Since it's a local person, maybe we can get a
If
fair
you want me to
deal
talk
on
to
that.
her also,
Well,
I'll be
I don't know,
at
or
the
maybe,
meeting
yeah.
there next Wednesday.
I'm gonna see her on Wednesday. I'm gonna see her on Wednesday this week for the DA meeting. We're all meeting in person for the first time.
Oh, nice.
COVID though.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So, with that road trip thing, do you
Yeah.
get the maps at the library?
Yes, so Wednesday is the Director Association meeting in person. I'm gonna get our care package with the maps. And the maps will be displayed at circulation. And it officially starts June 26th and it'll go from June 26th to September 8th.
Okay, I'd like to try that.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Maybe there are wineries near the library.
Well, so that's interesting because a lot of the libraries will be doing posts like that, sharing like things to do in the community
Yeah.
besides,
Oh, that's
you
cool.
know, coming, come and make a day of it kind of sort of deal. So, yeah.
Okay.
We could wait.
No.
Yeah, there you go. Moffett, right?
No,
RCLS was talking about doing like a contest, like
I
if
gave
you
up
go
on
and you get a spot
that
at each
kind of
one of
life.
the
It's
libraries.
a prize. It's a
Yeah.
prize scale. So
I hope my husband's
if you
gonna go to
get
the
you get like receivable
Really?
cutlery, you
Yeah.
get a lollipop, you get a fanny pack. Biggest prize is custom T-shirt. Custom T-shirt with your name on the
There was
back.
cutlery. Cutlery is one
Yeah,
of the like.
reusable
We got a set
cutlery.
of steak
Right.
knives. Like we're going out of the library.
I
It's
need
amazing.
Steak knives.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's a prize.
reusable. Yeah, it's reusable cutlery, like camping or something. Like if you're
Where's
camping.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's like we had four, now we have two.
It's usually yours, not mine.
Yeah.
All right, we have to focus here.
I was just thinking like.
Grants, we have anything on grants?
The only thing I wanted to mention, Mary, I received the info from Chris Ekus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. Anyway, I called his office within 24 hours.
Okay.
And they apologized and said, the money isn't here because they gave it to us too late.
What?
It had already expired by the time I called.
Oh. That's
Yeah,
odd.
but they're very nice. They said, and this is on us, he said, please send us a letter
Uh-huh.
that will
Keep on
let us,
file.
keep on file, and
That's
when
what they
next
do.
time, because we can pounce on it. We don't have to
All right.
wait for it, so,
At least you made a contact.
Yeah, yeah.
it was just interesting. Oh, yeah, sorry about
Just a letter.
that. Yeah, well, I know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should invite all these political people, local political people into the library.
We
to
have
see.
at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
This
Rabernac
is-
here
look,
2 years
look,
ago.
This is what we've got, don't you think we could do better?
Yeah. Well, so I will say with the road trip, RCLS is reaching out to all of the local, like, senator and assemblymen saying, like, this is happening in your district. Here is your map. We hope you
Yeah.
come. And
Yeah.
they're like marking off the libraries in their district. So they might come, they might not come. Who knows? So,
Yeah, that's a good
to come.
PR.
yeah. Yeah.
Ask them when they're planning to
When they're
come.
Right. Yeah.
Give me a list and I'll
We
make
we
the
understand
contact.
you were just
It's
given
just the
this
two.
this list we wanted to
Yeah.
know when we can expect you so that we can
Right, yeah.
make sure that the
Bring up
press
the
is there
China.
for
Well,
a picture.
no, but yeah, so RCLS talked about that as well. You know, they might want to come and do a photo op, or they might want to just come on their own with their family and not make it a professional thing. And but you know,
Oh, they're
just to,
politicians.
Yeah, right. It's a photo op.
you
Yeah, taking
know,
the family
and that
out
was
is a
just
photo op.
the feedback from RCLS. You know.
Okay, we're, nothing more on grants. Okay, library operating, I think, the whole petition thing belongs under library operating. I have a list here of the different possibilities. I think we need to kind of nail some of this down. I know I'm not gonna be around for the food truck festival. Does anybody else? Nicola, you and I did super last year,
We'll do super again.
but I'm not gonna be around.
What day is the
What's
food
the
truck
day?
festival?
This Saturday,
June
the 17th,
17th. It's a Saturday,
from 11
right?
to 7.
Anybody else? You.
I have a game in the morning, so I'll be a little later, but I'll still plan on.
If I can do it, I'll come.
Okay, so I'm
I'm,
at Saturday.
I'm in the
I'm
costume.
usually in synagogue through the afternoon.
Gotcha.
So-
I'm gonna try to see what Dave has going on. Right?
Okay, that'd be
Give
good.
it
Yeah.
You and
for
Dave
Freeland.
could partner on that.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Weekends are tough though. I think for him.
Okay, anybody else? You said possibly, Netta?
I'm saying,
It's
That
a,
is good.
yeah, it's a long day and there's
She's
a lot
in
of
their
people.
face.
So if at any point during the day,
well, yeah. if it
You
gets-
guys should
if it
bring a
gets too
chair and
crowded,
just set
then
up
I
shop.
Bug out, I don't. do
Well,
crowds.
you-
no, we stay in the parking lot.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
had a good
I'm
spot
good
right
at-
at the
I
helm
will-
of the
I will walk
like
up to
walking.
anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just don't like crowds.
Well, where
Yeah,
we
we
were
don't go
last
right,
year was
no.
You
in the
guys post
parking
right up
lot.
at the trailhead, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Right.
It was a
Yeah.
great spot.
So at the parking lot where they have everybody
Yeah.
park the cars, which is right off of the bike path there,
Yeah.
everybody has to walk down the main road
Get 'em
Yeah.
to get over to where the food trucks
Yeah.
are.
So,
Right.
so
Yeah.
at the
Right.
park.
Yes.
in the parking
In the
lot.
parking
Parking
lot.
lot?
I
Yeah.
don't go into. We're way far away from the food truck
Yes.
festival.
Right.
Yep.
They
Yeah,
take
it
they can take a
worked
bus
great.
to the festival.
Yeah,
if
I
they
thought that
need
was a
to,
great
but we
spot.
hit them before they catch the bus.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or before they walk.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a good
Yeah.
spot.
I'm
Okay,
okay.
all right.
I just, I don't like
Okay.
being on my own
Okay.
because
You need somebody else.
somebody like some of the people we encountered this last weekend, I need to walk away so that I don't
Sure.
say anything.
Then this is the
I'm
good
really-
spot for you because it's easy to walk away in the parking
Yeah.
lot. Yes.
Okay, on task here, group. All right, so Nicola and Netta are talking about June 17th. I'll put Dave down as a possibility. The June 15th, movies on the lawn, that's just one. There's
I'm
more.
gonna be there, so you don't have to worry about that one.
Okay, all
That's
right,
very
so.
good.
What is
Amanda's
this
doing-
Thursday?
That's this Thursday.
Because
Indiana
I'm
Jones.
going
It's like
away
8
for the
o'clock,
weekend,
right?
so
Sunset,
I won't
gotta
be any
wait.
good for that. The summer
I'll try to
concert
come down for that.
series, I should be able to do that. Anybody else good for that?
What day?
That's the 24th at 7 p.m.
Dave Joy
I can
actually
do
asked me was it last weekend that they did?
Monroe's Got
Yes,
Talent.
no Rose got
Yeah.
talent.
Okay, yeah, Dave, I think, was down there trying to get signatures for us.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, because he messaged me to ask me if I was coming down. And I
Oh,
was tied up
I
with
didn't
the
know he
kids, so I
had a
wasn't
sheet.
able to. Oh, because
Yeah,
he had
I
asked
was
me.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
you didn't
We
get
didn't
it?
end up, no,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
because the kids were.
Yeah.
if there were any indication like it was last year, I remember.
Okay,
more
so
people,
who
yeah.
else is there? Anybody?
Where are you gonna set the table up for that?
I mean, we have like.
I
we got
don't
like
even know if you
30.
need to set up
I
the
have 30
table.
I'm hanging out to right now.
You know, if you could, I think you might be better off just walking around with a clipboard.
Yeah, because people just sit on the lawn.
I see it all the time.
Because
Yeah.
there's no way if you sit behind the table, you're gonna get anybody coming to you. It's just gonna walk right by you. You gotta be in their
Yeah.
You probably
face.
have
I
to
think
be on the
something like
sidewalk as
that,
they
it
walk
might,
in to
Yeah.
sit
might
down.
be better to get there early before it starts, while
Yeah.
people are
Yeah,
getting settled.
settled.
Right,
Come in.
Once
exactly.
the performance starts, they don't wanna be bothered.
Right.
Because they went, so it's
That's absolutely.
So
right.
it might
really-
be better
really
to
talk
be there
about
at
six.
6. Yeah, okay.
I have to check.
You and I
and
talked
see.
about shopping.
Yeah, but it's supposed to rain on Wednesday.
I'll check on the 24th, possibly. I
But,
gotta check.
if
Okay.
it's not gonna rain,
So Nicola is possibility for
24th,
the
was it?
24th.
The Saturday.
How about the
24th?
fishing derby? You said you'd be good for that, right?
did. When is it?
The
The
20th.
25th, 8 to 1 a.m.
Is
1
there,
p.m.
8 to 1.
8 to 12.
is there
The-
anybody who could do ShopRite with me this Sunday? Because Pat and I did pretty well at ShopRite. I don't see hitting the farmer's market right after we just got so
Yeah,
much.
it wasn't as productive as we had hoped.
Well, we got enough, so, you know, it was worth the effort, but I think, you know, they might be many of the same people.
Yeah,
By the way, it's interesting, a lot of people that go to the farmer's market aren't from Monroe, but
right.
if
Yeah.
we can find somebody to partner with me, ShopRite on Sunday.
The
That was
25th.
last year at the
No.
concert.
No,
This-
this
well,
Sunday, the
think about
18th.
this Sunday.
This Sunday.
Yeah.
Right, people might be
tough.
shopping, getting ready for barbecues.
Yeah.
Well, we found like 11 to 12:30 was good.
Well, you know,
I can do
I might be able to go with you on this Wednesday to ShopRite.
I think it's gonna rain.
Really bad.
Yeah,
Keep
maybe
saying it's gonna rain. it
70%
doesn't.
Well, I guess we
chance.
have to be in touch about that.
The
Oh,
weather?
it is supposed to
Yeah,
rain.
it's not supposed to rain until 11
Yeah,
a.m.
I'm sorry,
I can do. I can do ShopRite with
When?
you on Sunday.
on Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's only from 11 to 12:30, I
Yeah.
can do the movie theater
Yeah.
because my kids are
Well,
25th.
we pretty
Eleven.
much found
10
that
to 12.
before and
Come out,
after,
come out.
that seems to be the thing,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do it. It's a
Thanks.
Sunday, right?
That's
Yeah,
the
it's
18th.
Sunday.
I'll come outside. It is across the street, right?
Okay, that's the
Right.
18th.
Okay.
All right,
Across the
Susan
street.
says
So
she's
I can
willing to do the 4th of July, but it's not the
Okay.
4th, it's
It's the
July 2nd. Anybody else?
I'm gonna be doing that.
Okay, so Amanda's doing that
What-
too.
That's a bigger event. We have to, I have to, the 4th of July,
Oh, July
Fireworks.
2nd?
yeah, the July 2nd
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I have to look at the timing for that. We usually get a table. So last year we kind of took turns.
Yeah,
So
I'm not gonna be
I'll
around.
coordinate.
Okay, cool.
I'll be down at the shore.
Put that table right next to where they do.
Okay,
the fundraising.
anybody else? I could
Baskets.
probably do the 25th with Diane at the fishing derby, if anybody else wants to.
I was just saying I'll be at a party at the theater from 10 to 12, so I'll just come out, help for a little bit.
Okay, that's at the fishing derby.
It's right across the street,
No,
right?
there's only, I'm part of the committee
Oh,
that's
okay.
running that from the Lions Club. And, there's probably gonna be 10, maybe 15. at the
Not a
most
whole lot, yeah.
parents. It's a very small group.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not
I might
really
get
You
more
could get
worth our
walker
time
buyers
then?
though. If you're there, right, if
You don't
you're there,
think
you could
so?
get walker buyers, so.
All right, let's scratch that one. Let's just do ShopRite if we're doing it. You and I could go to ShopRite on that.
After the fishing derby?
No.
Instead of
during
the fishing derby.
Oh.
You want to do that
Sure.
instead? All right, so that's the June 25th. And we'll talk about a time. And,
at 8 a.m.
well, we don't have to be there at 8 a.m. I'm not being anywhere at 8 a.m.
But the early bird.
It's a fish, not a worm.
It's the worm.
For the fish.
Okay, and can
Second-
anybody
so
think
the
about
second- the second mouse gets the
That's the
cheese.
fly.
The second mouse gets the cheese.
where else besides ShopRite is good?
Stop and shop.
Stop and Shop. And
Walmart.
Bus depot,
station.
right.
Parking lot.
parking right,
Right.
yeah.
You need to know when the buses are coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Get off the bus, yeah.
If I was coming
No,
along,
I would.
I don't think that's a good one.
Okay.
People coming back and forth from work in the city are exhausted.
Yeah.
What about the ice cream place at night?
Wally's?
Wally's is a great idea.
They're busy.
If they're okay with us.
Yeah, right.
Where's Wally?
Down at the,
Across from-
Right across from
Crystal
Gilbert
Brothers.
Street.
Oh, okay.
Across from
Where's
All right, we'll talk about, if we're
If you had said,
doing,
where's Mr. Cohen's, we could
Yeah.
have allowed.
I was always on the Wally side.
So we could get more people for Stop and Shop, we could get people for Wally's of a night, we won't put that down, but I'll write this up and send it to people, so we've got an idea of what we're doing.
Have any of the friends been willing to
I
pitch
have,
in?
I contacted them when we first started this. I have to send another email. I will do that tomorrow.
Can I ask an odd question for those of you who have been going out? Is it a matter of there just hasn't been people? Or
Yes,
the people you're encountering are saying, no, I don't wanna?
no,
No.
Very few
We're
people
usually
said no.
friendly. Right.
Oh, and by the way, I
Or it's a
gave one,
residency thing.
one voter registration card out.
Oh, great.
Very nice woman with 5 children who said she just moved here. Her kids are coming to the library, but she hasn't had time to register to vote yet. So I gave her the
Great,
card.
perfect.
And she was one of the people who mentioned the summer reading.
Oh, great.
and we could use those Spanish things to
Yeah, I
hand
can
out.
copy
to
those
people,
off for you,
too.
sure.
How did the
Um,
farmer's market go?
What was that, Nicole?
How did the farmer's market go?
No, well,
I don't agree.
Well, but not a lot of traffic.
Okay. It didn't have a lot of traffic, but we got, between the 3 of us, we got at least more than 40 names between the 3
Yeah.
of us.
but,
It's better than
Pretty
nothing.
good.
well,
Nothing.
absolutely,
Every name
that's,
is a good name, yes.
Well, as
Yeah,
long
what
as
do you mean?
they,
As long as it
as long
counts.
as they're registered voters and then
Yeah,
legible
yeah.
and all of that.
but for
Well, we're at
that,
2:39
we were
right now.
there almost
Yeah.
With
3 hours.
3 hours, yes.
And we should have gotten a lot more than 40 or
Tomorrow.
45, maybe 50 signatures altogether in 3 hours. Like Nikula and I, we were filling 2 sheets
Yeah.
out, no problem at all at the food trucks.
Yeah.
That's a lot
So-
more people though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying when I say that we didn't do well. it's-
People are
it
more
just
apt to
wasn't-
go
Right.
to the food trucks than the
Right.
farmer's
Yeah.
market here.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what this is. Too bad we can't stand in front of the pizza places.
You can. You
could.
can stand in front of
You could.
Amadola's on a Friday.
Hmm?
You can stand in front of like Amadola's on a
You can
Friday.
always stand on the public easement on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing's
Yeah.
stopping you.
Even if you talk with them, like, they're really nice.
They are nice. They probably send the petitions too.
That could be a thing. I could do that. We love Amadola's.
You
Yeah.
do too.
So, Saturday. Yeah.
When do you sleep?
Awesome.
Sleep.
Does anyone know the fate of the proposed law to?
Yeah, so right now, the Senate passed it, the Assembly passed it.
What law are we talking about?
This is the
25
25
signatures.
signature
Oh,
bill
yeah.
reduction law. So both the Senate and the Assembly passed it. However,
Oh.
it has to get delivered to the governor. Now, the session has ended, so she has 30 days to sign it, or it essentially becomes a de facto veto.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. It
That
hasn't
is
even
right.
like,
We
yeah,
should
like
write
it
to
just,
the governor now.
right, so yeah, you should probably.
Someone get the address and forward that to us.
Yeah, sure, I could do that. That's
Yeah,
fine. Yeah, that's
definitely.
easy. Yeah. So it
Sign
hasn't
the
been.
thing,
There is a
right?
thing where you can
Right,
sign up
yes.
for alerts to see where it's moving. It hasn't even been delivered yet. And Jen Park said from RCLS said that it would take some time to get delivered and then signed. But
I can't see any interest group that would be opposed to that.
no, it passed unanimously in the Senate, and then Assembly only had one person who said nay. That was it.
Yeah.
So I think everyone agrees the value
Well,
of doing that.
Maybe this is our last hurrah, wouldn't that be wonderful?
25
But-
signatures, that's,
But, okay, so we have a plan, we've gotta get on it, we've gotta do it. I'm gonna send this out to show people what they signed up for. We're also going to, among ourselves, decide when we're going to ShopRite, who's gonna try Wally's, who's
Right.
gonna try Stop and Shop, maybe the pizza, and it's better if you can partner with somebody.
Yeah.
Just so you got somebody to schmooze with.
I think it's safer.
yeah.
Well, maybe that's true, but I'm
Keeps you going. It keeps you going.
High
We,
levels of paranoia.
I don't know what
They have
traction,
foundations.
okay.
I don't know what traction this will carry, but we did post about it on our social. So if you wanted to share it with your people that don't follow the library, you can do that. We had to be very careful with the way we worded it. We just
Yes.
provided awareness. We
Yeah.
weren't telling people what to do, telling them to sign it. It was just like, this is what we're doing, until when this is how much we need.
I'm
So-
gonna say that this year compared to last year, a lot of people asked me about the dollar amount,
Right.
and some people gave pushback on that.
Yeah.
I did not hear that this year.
Right. It's
I heard
interesting.
people ask Rowan.
It's just to get it on the ballot.
Yes.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But I did
Right.
provide you with that documentation
Right,
and
no,
your
but
clipboards.
I didn't hear the same kind of questions
Right.
about what is this gonna cost me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
Go for it. 35 this year.
Okay, it's almost 9 o'clock and, we have to go into executive session. I'd like to have somebody, make a motion that we go into executive
I'll make a
session,
motion.
or I'll make the
I
motion.
second.
All right, Casey's making it, Netta is seconding it. All those in favor of going into executive session? Okay, we are going into executive session at 5 to 9, and we will move to the other conference room.
8:52.
That clock is
That
wrong.
clock is wrong.
Would somebody fix it?
We'll get right on that.
Oh, yes. How many months we finally got?
I'm very excited about
There's, I don't know if anybody ever watched the show 30 Rock.
Yes.
They were, one of the characters was never on time to anything. So everybody did something that counteracted, but they all did it at once. So the guy goes crazy. He's like, he goes, I set his clock an hour fast. I told him to be here an hour early. I told him it was on Tuesday. So he comes and he goes, I dropped my kid off at school at 3 a.m. last night. What's going on?
I had a friend for years who would meet me, at the subway station, and he was always an hour late.
Yeah.
The mistake I made was telling him, I now started coming an hour later.
Oh, no. He had more time.
The last time they.
Oh, I
took us
remember
on,
him.
That doesn't have anything to do with it.
His recent stints in rehab. And he said that he showed up.
Was in my office?
This was today. It won't stay that way. No, if you here.
Ainsley, little Ainsley.
Come on. Look at that. She's the sweetest to be. Look at the hair. Adorable. Thank you.
Are we supposed to move?
No, but this thing is on and it's recording, so, right? Oh, really? I'd rather just chit chat. Yeah, the recording's on. I'd rather just chit chat without being recorded. Very boring. I can't walk.
usually get, TriNet. Let's see who's still on. Yep, everybody's still on. Hello, hello.
Yeah, because now when they sign in, I said, I don't do nothing, Mary takes care of it.
I don't know if it's recording. Doesn't matter. If they're attending, that's fine. Huh?
It's not over.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think so.
My twin went home. Did you see Diane had the same sneakers? She went home with twin. Yep.
Did you want to give that to Nicole?
Yeah.
Yes. Nicole.
Oh,
I
careful.
did that.
This was in the
At some
Times
point I realized I
yesterday.
did.
It's a one time.
Queens Library is being sued over, the lack of accessibility in the building after they put out 40 mil. So I brought it in.
Wow.
I'm thinking, no matter how many mistakes we make, we won't do that badly.
Holy moly.
Okay, I'd like a motion to come out of executive session.
I'll make a motion.
Second, all those in favor? All right, we came out
Executive
of
session ended at 9:35.
35.
9:40?
Well, right now, yeah, I guess.
9:40. 9:40.
Okay. All right, long-range planning,
Thanks for the article. We'll make sure that all the architects so far have really been prioritizing accessibility when we talk to them anyways. But we haven't talked to anybody new. If anything, one of the architects reached out, said, would you like to meet me at New City? Right?
Jim?
Yeah.
Mm.
No. Meet me at New City. I think they're pretty well done and
Looking for work.
had arranged for maybe that being a possibility this summer. We still need to look for more architects. We're kind of at a standstill. I need to schedule a meeting and decide how we're going to get some community input. I think that should be the priority or on the agenda for the next meeting for long-range planning.
It would be interesting to hear the thoughts of that board, the potential board candidate that was getting tossed around as an accounting or an architecture background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would have a lot to say, I'm sure. She
Mm.
felt like she could help us.
Yeah, help.
oh, good.
Obviously,
She could do it now
Yeah.
without being a board member.
Yeah.
We
Right,
could
she
have-
could,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can drag her onto your committee.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she wouldn't necessarily have to be a
Yeah,
board.
members of the public are
Yeah.
allowed to
Part of
be,
committees,
willing to.
right,
Okay.
if she's willing, right, yeah.
and this might be a good way for her to get her feet wet.
All right, I'm still working on that document for you, I didn't forget to.
The only
prepare
reason I
three
mentioned
proposals,
that is
so.
because the other woman applied before she did,
Yeah, I know.
and,
But
but
did she apply? Well, she just said she was interested. She just said she was interested, she never submitted an
You can extra
application.
she
seat on
came
that
into
now.
the library and had them print out an application.
She never returned it in.
She
never-
didn't, huh?
Not to me, at least.
Otherwise, I'm
Okay.
Well, I
gonna
don't
do
think
it. I don't wanna
so.
do it.
Well, we'll keep her on board, you know, if
Oh,
Anna, is interested and is here,
Hold you guys.
we can, move on her and then keep this Judy Higgins,
Oddly enough,
on tap, you know, keep her name. So that's the next with the long-range planning is to try and work that aspect of it out. Makes sense. Public relations,
Not much going on, just with the friends. I'm gonna be working on the book sale in July and, I will send out another request for help with petitions.
Lynette had, some interesting fundraising ideas that
That's great.
she talked to me about. She said it was a long-term thing.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah.
And so you could talk to her about it. It was her idea and she was afraid somebody'd steal it, so I don't want to talk about it here.
Okay.
So
All right.
Obviously, it wasn't calendar.
it wasn't what?
Calendars.
No, it wasn't calendars. You know, Amanda, do you think it would be helpful at all if, like, we had a picture in the photo news? Of course, we've only got a couple more weeks of the board.
Like in action?
Yeah, trying
Yeah, why not?
to get petitions.
If you guys want to be that forward facing about it, sure.
Sure.
You know, if you want that kind of publicity.
Well, I think it's good. For one thing, it'll show that we're out there working for the community.
Yeah.
And the other, when we're approaching people,
Right.
they may be more open to it and might even be looking to sign.
There should be some photos on file of us
Of doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. All
I
right.
know
I'll
I
take
have
a
one,
look.
a personal one of me and Pat doing it.
Okay.
I can send you.
Which
Yeah.
is about 4 years old now. isn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we're
what does it
doing
matter,
Well,
right?
no,
Yeah.
And I think there should be some.
It looks
Yeah.
better 4 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. I can have Elizabeth send the photo in and see if they'll publish it, as long as it's just informational, not swaying. Now, however, we could, if there was anyone from the friends who wanted to kind of write up a little piece to go along with the photo, saying, kind of encouraging,
Yeah,
that
there you go.
kind of situation. That could be, a
That's
little bit
why we're trying
more.
to get them going.
Right.
Well, I was talking to Susan, since she's a writer, and
Yes.
she does not want to have anything to do with that.
Okay.
She wants to focus on her book sale.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
She tells you what she, I like her,
Yes.
very straightforward.
Yes.
She's
Yes.
you don't have to
Yes.
guess.
Yeah,
She's
right.
easy
Yes.
to work with because
Yeah.
she's very
Right.
straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
know where she stands.
Yeah.
And put that picture in the letter to whoever, the governor.
There you go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
We had the staff and board meeting last Wednesday. That was
fun.
Terry's and my thing is this ad hoc committee. We should look at that again, you and I, and like, there was something about the garden we talked about. We might be able to do something along those lines.
When?
What garden? What are you talking about?
What garden?
It's late.
I saw that look on your face, you're like, don't ask questions.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
not
following.
following. Yeah.
Do you need a?
I'm not following what you're
Right.
talking about.
Oh,
She just
soon
came
I'll
home,
get
business,
one.
new business.
No, we had just talked about doing something in the backyard, maybe getting Susan involved.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
that We talked about that.
Right,
Okay, we'll address it again.
yeah, not
Motion to
tonight.
revisit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll
Motion to
revisit that.
right. We'll circle around,
We'll table.
as they say.
Circle back.
Yeah.
Circle back. Thank you.
So
I
the
just
hardest part
don't
of
have
the
the
pandemic was
terminology.
finding out you were married to the, we're gonna put a pin in that and circle back.
All right.
It's just spouses hearing their partners on Zoom calls, but that's how you talk at work.
Well, we talk nicely here.
We do.
Old business. No, nobody's got anything good.
Oh, I have one thing, I do. Unclaimed funds, I followed up with that, state of New York unclaimed funds. So we should know at the end of the month, we should have a check in hand. However, I don't know how much it's for.
They don't tell you until
They
you
don't
Get it.
I've
It might
got
be
one of
30
those.
cents, it might be $1 million.
I've got one of those from an old landlord, and I'm like, really? That could be $800, and I'll probably get 50 cents.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, they just told me where we were.
yeah, and a lot of money. My
Might as
father,
well get it.
as my husband says, my father had time on his, he lived to be 94 and a half, and he'd open an account here and an account there, and they'd rate times time times interest, whatever, and yeah, there was quite a bit of money there, $30,000-$40,000, I think, yeah. If I remember correctly, it was a while ago.
I don't think that's what we're getting.
Most likely. Sorry to
Well, we're
say.
hoping we were missing that much, we'd know about it.
Right.
New business. Good and welfare, Mary already
Yay,
told us.
baby, yeah.
her
Congratulations
goodness.
again.
And
It's wonderful. Kingsley Mary. Oh, it's beautiful.
call for adjournment.
Make a motion?
Second.
Make it.
All in favor?
Motioning and seconding all night.
Thank you all. I'll send this thing